conference will now be recorded.
Welcome to Dr. TSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello. A warm welcome to our esteemed guest from Germany, Dr. Satish Ranjan. He is the world's best molecular immunologist. Not only that, he has a human heart as and when he is required. He is on the live show on our channel. Thank you, Dr. Satish Ranjan. Once again, welcome to this special
Thank
show.
you.
In a matter of
Thank you
3
very much.
days,
Thank you
in a
so much.
matter of 3 days, last Tuesday's show has opened the Pandora box in India and worldwide as well. Worldwide, in regards to Pfizer and Moderna mRNA vaccines, we have very clearly stated with proof how it is going to interfere with human genome. The same is happening in India. After the Tuesday show, the mind-boggling facts and figures came to the fore by none other than Bharat Biotech, who are into Covaxin manufacturing. And in doing so, they have exposed themselves. They say 80%, 81% efficacy, and they have marked Covishield at 69%. And where are the third stage of trials? Who has certified them as vaccines? Now that is the $1,000,000 question. Is prevention vaccine is going to be more dearer and costlier to public health than the coronavirus itself? Because right from first citizen of India, the honorable president of India, till the esteemed commoner, the common citizen of India, are putting their health at stake for these vaccines. When such is the case, don't you think we should be transparent and accountable? Where is the liability and compensation angle? Because of the lack of opposition, the scientific validation by the other political parties and other organizations across India, once again, Dr. TSPR channel through its Dr. TSPR show live, through esteemed guest Dr. Satish Ranjan, again brings facts to the fore. Again, we had to do this show because of the exposures which they themselves have done. Not we, kindly understand, not neither me nor Dr. Satish Ranjan. Once you understand what is happening, then one second, sir, let me just play you certain things for you, and then I'll straight away give the floor to you. Little bit of scientific research has gone from this angle also. That is why I'm just trying to get my WhatsApp open and to show the world as to how could a third stage, how can vaccines without undergoing a proper third stage can be regarded or certified as vaccines, and who has done that? How could they do it? That is $1,000,000 question. Right from the first citizen to the commoner citizen, right from the honorable Prime Minister of India to everyone, now they are into this vaccine mode. A vaccine fever has gripped entire India. One side they are opening up the market, elections are being announced, elections have been conducted. Still, I do not understand as to how can this happen in India? Now they have announced, I'm in Kerala doing this live show. In this area, all of a sudden, they have announced it to become a mini quarantine area. Suddenly the cases go up. They are rushing. Is it because to create that fear psychosis? As we have been pointing out right from the day one, a health issue has been turned into a law and order issue before, then socio-economic issue, then political issue, like that. So I'm trying to present here certain facts which have come in the national daily of late, and they themselves have diagnosed it as reached here Covaxin phase 3 trials efficacy at 81% says Bharat Biotech. Let me just play it for you. The honorable reviewers are the best people to judge. Let them judge. See here, Covaxin phase 3 trials, efficacy at 81% says Bharat Biotech, and it's not me, which is there officially. Bharat Biotech said on March 3rd that its Covaxin vaccine was 80% effective in preventing COVID-19 after a third round of clinical trials. Now that also will be exposed by Dr. Satish Ranjan, whether the third round of clinical trials, 130 crore population, whether they have done it properly as per scientific temper, whether there is logic before it is certified, and who has certified, who is that expert committee. Everything we are going to reveal it to you. Data from 25,800 participants. See this, received a vaccine or placebo in a 1:1 ratio, showed that the vaccine candidate was well tolerated, the company said in a statement. The first interim, again I am telling you, the first interim analysis was done only on 43 cases, of which 33 cases of COVID-19 were observed in the placebo group versus 7 cases observed in the Covaxin group, resulting in a point estimate of vaccine efficacy of 80.6%. Now you decide. It is for the people to decide. It is very clear there. We are not trying to say anything. Covishield versus again Covishield, they have compared. It says 81%, that says 69%. And Covishield, where did they do their third stage of trial? Asaduddin Owaisi raises question over Covishield as PM Modi receives Covaxin shot, asks government to clear confusion. Covaxin demonstrates high clinical efficiency trend against COVID-19, but also significant immunogenicity against the rapidly emerging variants. Now Ella has added another dimension, rapidly emerging variants, how these variants are different, and the vaccine which was tested for the old variant, how can this be for these emerging variants also? So it is crystal clear what is happening here. We are just trying to point out. I'll just play out the video of the company, what they spoke. All this is out. After our Tuesday show, we questioned, where are the third stage of trial? Where is the data? Who has certified these vaccines, Covaxin or Covishield, as vaccines? Nothing comes out. Instead, see, it is there for you. Today is an important milestone in vaccine discovery for science and our fight against coronavirus. With today's results from our phase 3 clinical trials, we have now reported data on our COVID-19 vaccine from phase 1, 2 and 3 trials involving around 27,000 participants, said Krishna Illa, Chairman and Managing Director of Bharat Biotech. Where is the data? Where is the data? 130 crore population. Krishna Illa, Chairman and Managing Director of Bharat Biotech. It is partnering with Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, and Indian Virology Institute. There are both are scientific bodies. Scientists are there. They are also equally responsible. They have to answer it. They have to answer it. How can this be? And DCGI, Drug Control Government of India, that also we will show you. They say it is for emergency use. Where is the emergency? Where is the emergency? I'm playing the video for you what they said. days after PM Narendra Modi took a shot, third stage trial are out. What is this? Paper. It is from them only. Bharat Biotech along with ICMR and National Institute of Virology. Interim efficacy. Listen to this.
Interim data for the human phase 3 efficacy trials that were done in India for the first time, the largest trial ever to be conducted in about 26,000.
Voice is very low. Largest trial in 26,000 cases. Dr. Satish Ranjan has to clear that. After Prime Minister of India takes the shot, 2 days after that, they say the third stage of trial is out. That too after our show, Tuesday show, mind you, viewers kindly understand the logic behind this disclosure. After our Tuesday show, questioning the scientific temper and logic, now they have come out with this. 28 days apart, 2 doses. Logic? What is the logic? What is the scientific?
Criticize us that our data is not a transparent and not public domain. And I'm proud to say that there are 6 publications right now in the public domain. If people have got patience, they should read those articles, share that to public. But remaining detailed analysis will be subject expert committees will be presented. And also, we need to keep the confidentiality because we need a publication from this. So you can't put everything is put in the domain in the transparent in the public domain. You cannot put publication. So therefore, people should be cautious that we are not disclosing the data. But our data has been reviewed by all the international agencies and also by the ethical committees and DSMB, everybody. And also we will be presenting the subject expert committees soon to them.
I don't understand what is the confidentiality. When it is public health, they themselves disclose 62%, 95%, 94%, 92%, various other manufacturers. They are claiming them. Is this enough or you want me to play it again, sir?
No, it's fine. That's fine. We will discuss everything one by one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll just put some newspaper. Let me go back to, yeah. How nascent, and then, oh, this is disturbing again. I come from Hyderabad, and this is on your screen. Now you say Hyderabad 54% population developed antibodies against COVID-19, says latest Sero survey. The survey also revealed that more than 75% of the Sero positive population did not know they had contracted coronavirus infection in the past. This is a big disclosure. Now, see, it is on your screen. 75. The survey also revealed that more than 75% of the Sero positive population did not know they had contracted coronavirus infection in the past. As we have been reiterating through this show by Mr. Dr. Satish Ranjan, in 6 to 8 months' time, natural immunity, herd immunity will set in. Then where is the necessity? Where is the emergency? When election after election is being conducted, we have seen a big farm protest which is going on happening. In Kerala also, now new trend started. From where new cases are coming, it's fine. New cases are coming, let us prevent. Let us take due precautions. But why this fear, psychosis? Now you are announced elections in so many states, including Kerala. Now are you going to cancel elections in Kerala? The Election Commission of India, the Union government, and even the Kerala government has to make it clear to the people. Is it just because for these vaccines? A commoner is questioning you. The study, which was jointly conducted by CSIR, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, CCMB, ICMR, National Institute of Nutrition, and Bharat Biotech, they themselves have done this. Now they have clearly shown what is happening. Most of the watch showed similar uniform range of Sero prevalence, 50 to 60%. So, then what is happening? Random sapling, everything. The Indian Express is now, it has come out with these things. So you can all watch this very clearly. And then the paper cuttings also, I'm just trying to, the papers are a bit around. Vaccination lifts antibody level in 14 days. Covaxin efficacy, yes, it is at 18%. I think we have to turn them on, and without wasting much of time, I will just read the ambiguity of these statements from CCMB director. In today's, half of Hyderabad population, they themselves say, has antibodies, say study. So I'm just giving you, it is very exciting as we could be near the end of this pandemic. We have reached a critical stage of infection among the population. This is the right time to go for, he says, about 50% of the population in Hyderabad and Secunderabad and within Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation limits has been found to be having antibodies against coronavirus in the latest sero surveillance survey conducted by city-based scientific institutions. And in tune with this, CCMB director, this could take antibodies prevalence among the population to 75 to 80% when the herd immunity may kick in, said CCMB director Rakesh Mishra. Data generated in the last sero prevalence study appeared to be robust, considering there was not much variation in each of the divisions, and a similar study done in the sewage systems for the prevalence of coronavirus among the population pointed out towards the same figure. The above 10 years age group chosen as this segment has been venturing out, and from the data it was clear that the older generations between 70 to 90 years had less antibodies because either they were well protected or have had a asymptomatic infection. The director, CCMB, reiterated that both vaccines cleared by government authorities were safe and people should not hesitate to vaccinate themselves when their slot is determined, as it would only strengthen the immune response of the body. Vaccine will help the body fight the infection better, but it may not prevent us from getting infected, and we in turn could infect others, he cautioned. Now you see, this is the ambiguity of our CCMB director's statement. One side they are acknowledging that it is herd immunity, best stage to administer vaccine. So we have come back. Now let me make you the presenter, sir. Which one you want me to make you the presenter?
From the laptop, my webcam is not available.
Is this the one?
DSR, where it's only written DSR. Yeah.
Go ahead, sir. I think now the floor is yours. What is this happening after Tuesday's show, sir? Why so much of panicking in the scientific circles? Why are they trying to be so ambiguous in their statements? Why are they contradicting their own statements and confusing people? Now why this new drama of, again, fear psychosis being set in India? Election is being held. Malls have already opened. Schools are being opened. Everything else is getting back onto the normal this thing. Now elections are also announced, even including Kerala. What is happening then? Why is this fear psychosis again? I've put out all the facts. It's for you too.
Yeah. Thank you once again, Dr. Reddy. That in such a short span of time, we have to reappear for the cause of the common man. Yeah, here we are to educate the people. Yeah, we have come forward to make people well aware what's going on scientifically, because this is a complex problem. This requires a thorough understanding of the subject matter, and then to decide about something which is scientific is really difficult for common man. So here we are only for making the common man understand what is this problem, how we can deal with this problem naturally and by means of some vaccine. Yeah. So all these things we will take up, yeah, but we should clearly disclaimer. Our disclaimer is that this is not for, not against any person or any company or anything. This is just for an educative purposes. So coming back to your questions that you have raised. So let me start from our previous show that we did on Tuesday. Yeah? So we asked. We gone through the website of the ICMR and we asked for the data. Yeah, so where are the data? Because the vaccine that has been approved, two vaccine has been approved. Yeah, the Covaxin and the Covishield that has been approved in India by Drug Controller General of India for emergency usage. Yeah, so these two vaccines. So what were the status of these two vaccines on Tuesday? Was that Covaxin has been granted, has been going the third trial. Yeah, so still you see if the website of the ICMR, there has been no change in the information that has been officially shared for Covaxin.
This
So
is
still
today's
it says
today's
the phase 3 human trial.
today's website. Is it today's online?
Yes, this is yeah, this is from the Today Live website. So I have just displayed the live website. I have just opened the
It
link,
is
yeah.
it is
So still
intriguing.
you see-
It is
so-
intriguing. Bharat Biotech announces 81% efficacy. ICMR and in the Indian Virology Institute are partners, scientific bodies. How is that in their own website that is not being reflected?
So even Health Ministry has come up with this statement, yeah, but they have added one small statement that they have not made this public, yeah. So what they have added that they have not made this public, and I will come to what they have exactly stated here. So these are certain scientific things which so they hide behind it, yeah. So what they have done, I will come to it. Let me first go through the status, and then in my presentation, I will tell you in detail. So what is their status, what they have said, and why it's not there. Yeah. So officially, it's not announced. Officially, it's not public. But they have come to the press conference and they have announced it in the public. And they have said that it's not made. The data has not been made available publicly, but their conclusion has been made public. Yeah. So we have full right to ask on what data, on what experimental evidence, or whatever the third phase outcome. Yeah. On what basis you are saying this? So everybody has the right to ask this question, yeah, because this is a very valid question, yeah, to ask it. Even Prime Minister can ask, President can ask, all scientific institutions can ask, and a common person can ask, expert body can ask. Everybody has the right to ask this question, yeah. So I will come to that point later. What's the excuse behind that, yeah. So you see, officially the status has not been changed, yeah. So still their third phase trial is going, yeah. Same with the Covishield. If you see the Covishield, it's the same situation. Remains as it is, as was on the Tuesday. So the phase 2, phase 3 clinical trial is been completed, yeah. But still, here there is a problem. That now I read more and then I come to know more about Covishield. So I will come to my presentation. What's the biggest problem that I found it here, yeah? That when the permission for this Covishield was granted, yeah, the DGCI approved the restricted use in emergency situation for Covishield. At that time, Covishield has no data from Indian population. Covishield applied the application for emergency usage based on the clinical trial data from abroad. So they have no data from Indian population, and based on this data, they were given the approval, and the company was asked to do the study, and then they said they will do in February. So I will come in detail all this. So, but still, you see, there is no data uploaded. Even I don't know where why ICMR has the data from the third phase in the foreign country as well. Because if they had it, then it should have been uploaded here. Yeah, but it's not officially uploaded, or I don't know whether it's officially asked or being received by the government. I don't know, because it's not available here. Yeah, so they have received this emergency usage situation. So then I go down. Then I go down and I found there is one more vaccine from Zydus Cadila. It's an indigenous vaccine, yeah, Ahmedabad-based company. And when you look at the status of their vaccine, yeah, it's exactly the same status as Covaxin and Covishield. So their phase 1, phase 2 trial is completed and phase 3 trial is ongoing, yeah. And you see the big difference here is that they have only received the approval for phase 3 human clinical trial, but they have not received any approval for emergency usage, yeah, for emergency usage. Yeah. So this is a situation which is very difficult for me to understand. Yeah. Once, at one hand, you say it's an emergency situation, and at the other hand, you have three vaccines on the same parameters, and you are giving two vaccines uses. You are granting restricted use under emergency situation, and the third vaccine you have said, okay, you complete your trial, and then you come, and then we will give you the permission. So this, I don't know why a special favor has been given to these two companies, although the third company is also there at the same parameter, at the same level of the clinical trial. So why, if Zydus could not have got the permission, then Covaxin also is the same status. Covishield is also at the same status. So same parameter, same yardstick should have applied, and their restricted use should also be put on hold unless and until their trial is completed, the third trial is completed, and the data is completely peer reviewed by the scientist and is published, and then it's allowed for commercial use, and then it should be labeled as vaccine by this DGCI, because I think it's the drug controller which labels all these scientific product as a medicine or the vaccine. But here is the ICMR website tells itself how the approach of the ICMR and how the approach of the DGCI is different. Yeah. And then anybody can ask, why don't you take your help of all the available resources if you really have an emergency situation? Why you are excluding one? If India is such in a dying situation, and if you have such a dying situation, and you have three options available at the same level, then you should take help of all three available options, or you should use all the resources. But this is not happening. So this itself contradicts the concept of emergency. Yeah. So what is the concept of emergency? I don't know. Nobody has defined it. Yeah. We will come to that. So let's go to our the main important facts. What has been made in the public domain? Yeah. So the Covaxin. So Covaxin efficacy data has been put out. Yeah, and you have already presented this to our viewers. Yeah, that Covaxin, the third phase efficacy data. And they clearly say it's an interim data. It's not the final data. It's an interim data, and they say that 25,800 subjects were involved in this, and this is one of the largest trial conducted in India. Yeah. First thing, what is the population of India? 1.3 crore, 130 crore. So, does this 25,800 trial reflect the 130 crore population? Does the outcome of this trial will reflect the 130 crore population? No. This is even less than what is generally used in the second phase of trial. Yeah, this much subjects are, even in second phase of trial, around 50 to 60,000 persons or individuals are involved, and in third phase of trial, lakhs and lakhs are involved in the third phase of trial, so that the exact outcome would reflect a bigger population. So this small population itself does not reflect the third phase of the trial data. Now, what is their outcome? So their outcome is based on only on 43 individual, as you have said, and they have said that they are doing analysis more on 87 individual, and then they will have a collective an outcome of 130 cases. So what is this 130 cases? This is really important for us to understand, and how the efficacy is calculated, and what does this efficacy mean? Yeah, because people have misconception about this efficacy. So let's understand this. So suppose they have said in the first interim data, they have the data from 43 cases. So what they have done, so out of 43%, 36 were given placebo, that means control. So they were not given the vaccine candidate. Yeah. And the rest 7 were given the vaccine candidate, and all 43 got COVID. So this means that out of the total population which have been really infected by COVID, 7 were those who were already having the vaccine. So based on this 7 person who have got the vaccine, and they have COVID infection, they have calculated that their efficacy is 81%. Yeah. So just based on 43, they have calculated it. So this simply means that whatever will be the number of infected COVID-19, it could be possible that 19% of the population could be those who have already been vaccinated by this Covaxin. So this is as simple as that. This does not mean that there is a 80-20 ratio, that you have a 80% prevention and 20% chance of getting the COVID. No. So you will fall under either this category or you will fall under the 90% category after taking the vaccine. So this we have to understand. Yeah. So after taking the vaccine, it's possible that the out of the total person who has got infected with COVID-19, 19% will be from those category who had been infected, who had been already vaccinated. So this we have to clearly understand, and this they will extend it to just 130 cases. So then they will see in 130 cases how many have been receiving the placebo and how many have received the candidate vaccine, the co-vaccine, and then they will recalculate the efficacy percentage. So it could even vary. Yeah. So larger, if you go more and more, then the efficacy can vary. When you go for a smaller population, it's very difficult to see what is the exact efficacy. So we have to expand the number so that we can draw a conclusion from a larger population. So they will take 130 cases of COVID. So this we have to clearly understand. So they will take 130 cases of COVID infected, and from there they will see how many of them have been injected with placebo and how many have been injected with the vaccine, and then they will redraw the efficacy rate. So this is how efficacy is done. So don't misinterpret it that you are 80% safe and 20% you are there is a chance of having the infection. This is not the situation. So this 20% chance is like that after having the vaccine, from all those COVID positive people, 19% could be or 20% could be from the vaccinated group. So this means that, yeah. So this is the first thing that we have to understand. Secondly, what is the adversary? See, efficacy is something may only deal with the possibility of having corona or COVID-19 after getting vaccinated. So this is one aspect. And the second important aspect is the adversary. So adversaries can happen to anybody, whether you develop COVID or you don't develop COVID. So it can happen to anybody. So what are the adversaries? So adversaries is a separate category that need to be studied, and there also you have to come out with a good data that how many have got mild symptoms. Okay, you have fever, pain, rashes, yeah, and how many have allergic or severe reactions, and if any deaths reported. I already have spoken in my in our last show that there were many deaths reported, and all these deaths were not linked or not established to the vaccine, because there is a problem that you cannot establish the causality of the death to the vaccine. Because if somebody is having cardiac arrest after vaccination, then the expert committee will say the person has died of cardiac arrest, which will be called as a natural death, and it will not be linked to the vaccination. So that is the problem there. So here also the big data of the adversaries are still yet to come. So this will then make us people more understand that how safe it is for a common man. And if we go for the adversaries and if we go for the efficacy, yeah, then we have to see really what are the special cases. See, there will be many special cases. A special case means I mean the special medical cases, yeah. So there will be many persons who are having receiving some kind of treatment for their coagulation. So they will be receiving some blood thinner. In general terms, it's called blood thinner. There will be some patients who will be put on immunosuppressive drugs. There will be some person who will be having severe allergic reaction. So all these special groups, yeah, all these special groups will be there, and in a population of India, the more with the larger population, then you have a more higher percentage of these kind of specialized people. So what is the outcome of this vaccine on those groups? So this is yet to be established, and that's why government has excluded some special groups to get this vaccination. And these special groups include the person who have this consuming this blood thinner medicines, who are in suppressive drug, or who has some kind of autoimmune diseases. So these are the things, actually these need to be studied much before the actual launch of the vaccine. So this is nothing, they have already accepted this is an ongoing trial, which should not happen, but unfortunately it's happening, yeah. And it's happening in the name of emergency usage, in the name of emergency situation, which nobody is buying the point that where is the emergency and how you define this emergency situation. There are so many controversies and contradictions, contradictions by the authorities themselves. So next, if we
Here,
go to
the first one, which the data, however, is the same one. No, next one, earlier one. The data, however, is yet to be peer reviewed.
yeah, so this is very important. So all the data, yeah, this is the point that I wanted to tell you. Thanks for bringing up. Yeah, so data from the second interim and final analysis will be shared via pre-publication server as well as submitted to a peer-reviewed journal for publication. So they have clearly here is the excuse. Yeah. So what's the excuse? Why they have not made public? Because it is yet to be submitted to a for a review. And when the data will be uploaded or submitted, then it will be peer reviewed. And when after the peer review of the data, then they will publish it officially. So that's why they say it's not public. But this really is for me. It's I don't understand what is the meaning of then coming in a public platform and revealing your data. And that means you are convincing the people that what you are saying is true. Then where is the need of peer review? You are already when sure that whatever you are saying is correct and people should follow it and fall in the line, then there is no need of the peer review. You publish it because you have already peer reviewed yourself and you have already concluded that what we are saying is true and people should fall in line and they should get the vaccination done. So this is something really contrary to the scientific established scientific procedures, how these things should be done. So this reflects something that like a bossism. I'm a boss. Whatever product I have, whatever I have judged is true. I am the judge is the true, and whatever judgment I have passed, that has to be implemented, and all the formalities will come up later. And what if the during the peer review, some questions will come out, and there will be some problem, and there will be some serious doubts will be raised about their data. Then what they will do, they will go back and do again more study on the human and more trial, and then they will revise their data. Then where they will stand if the data will be changed, if the data will be altered. Suppose if their third trial now the data, whatever data they have from this outcome, and the reviewer asks them to include some more thing and to do something extra, and then the data changes, then how will they justify? So that's why I said all these things are done before. So all the scientific studies, the clinical trials are done, and then they are peer reviewed, and when they are finally accepted, then it is made public. Then it's made public that this is the outcome of this vaccine trial, and now the DGCI has the full authority to label it as a vaccine, and then it should go. So this is the procedure. So here procedure has been, flawed. So no procedure, no established procedure has been followed, and whatever they think is suitable for the country in the name of emergency situation, they have done it. Simple, as simple as that. To put it in a common man's language. Yeah. Same with the Covishield. So I have falsely labeled. This is Covishield. Yeah, this is Covishield data. So the efficacy of the Covishield, was, as I said already before. So when they applied for the restricted use under emergency situation, so they have all the data from the overseas clinical studies. You see here. So they have a data from 23,745 participants above 18 years of old, and from overseas clinical study, and their efficacy, so it's overall 70.42%. They have studied in several groups, and in some groups they have found it as low as 60%, and in some they have found it as high as 90%. And also there was an ambiguity between what they have said, that's first dose, second dose. It was not very well clearly explained by them. So people have drawn an average that okay, the overall efficiency is like 70%. So same here, the conclusion would have been drawn from the same. Suppose if you have 100 COVID infected person, then 70 would have received the placebo and 30 would have received the Covishield vaccine. So people must understand this thing. So out of the total percentage or the total population who will have COVID-19 infection, it could be still possible that 30% of the 30% of the person will be those who have been already vaccinated. So these vaccines are not absolutely safe. This you have to understand very clearly, very clearly. So these vaccines are not absolute protection, and the chances of having COVID-19 is still very high. So this still remains very high, and we will come to that. So here then the patient groups, they have asked that where is the bridging study of the vaccine on the Indians? Yeah, so the bridging study on the Indians were missing. You know, same question was asked to Pfizer. Pfizer came with this foreign data, and then the Indian authority asked them where is the data for the Indian, and they said that the Indian genetic constitution could be different, and then the efficacy and all the outcomes would vary. So you should also do a study here. So based on this, they rejected because they said, okay, we will not do the study. But based on the overseas clinical studies, you see, Covishield got the permission. Covishield got the permission to use the vaccine, and the company said, okay, the permission was granted in January, and the company said that we will do the study in February. But still, I have shown you the ICMR website. No data has been uploaded. So I don't know where is this study data of the third phase trial by this Covishield. There is no data. I searched a lot. I cannot find on. If ICMR website has nothing, then that's the final official website, because they are doing the trials under their guidance. Yeah. So if they don't have data, that means there is no official data. So whatever this efficacy, whatever this outcome is simply based on the overseas trial. Yeah. So you see the same yardstick they don't follow when it comes to Pfizer. I don't favor or I don't criticize any vaccine. I'm asking what is the gold standard that is followed or that is adopted by this ICMR or DGCI in granting approval for any vaccine, in defining the emergency situation. Yeah. If in the emergency situation, then Zydus Cadila should also got the permission to use it under restricted use, but that's not happening there. Yeah. So now the very important question that we have to ask, yeah, and this is in the light of the data that you have showed, that the herd immunity. Yeah. So what is natural immunity? We know the natural immunity is that we gain after having a real infection from the coronavirus. So the person who has already infected by the coronavirus, they will have such a kind of antibody generated in their body, which will give them a protection. So this is called a natural immunity. Yeah. So you gained immunity by means of naturally getting infected to coronavirus. Yeah. And the second method of getting immunity is immunization. So in this, the vaccine will be injected to you, and your body will produce the immunity, and then you will have this is called acquired immunity. So now the fair question that has to be asked, which is better? Which is better? Because this is an ongoing pandemic. This is not something that pandemic can happen or pandemic will happen. No, this vaccine is being used for an ongoing pandemic. Here, simultaneously, people are having natural immunity and also by vaccination. So then the valid question raises, which is better? So what is the parameter to judge this? So the only parameter to judge this is the longevity in terms of the immunity that the person will have based on the natural immunity and the acquired immunity. So which is going to be longer? Which is going to be longer? And when it comes to the safety, then the more safer is definitely the natural immunity, because you have overcome the viral load and you have recovered it. So now you are completely safe. So you will have no problem and you will have antibody. And this antibody will keep you protected. But now the question is what is the longevity of both? So this study is also still not there. The data from this study is also not there. And the vaccine data, is now ongoing, and nobody knows after vaccination how long the immunity will last. Now you can only judge after how many days antibody will be produced. So like Covaxin said, it will be produced after 14 days. But how long it will last, nobody knows. So what about the person who have already acquired immunity by means of naturally getting infected with the virus? They already have antibodies. So why to interfere with their naturally occurring bodies by giving them immunization? So these are the valid scientific questions which need to be studied. We are not criticizing anything. We are just putting the questions, scientific questions, which should be asked for a scientific procedure and for a scientific solution. So these are the questions that we ask ourselves when we do our scientific work. We put all these questions to ourselves also. We do a rigorous discussion and we ask ourselves. So what's the validity of this the thing that we are doing? So same here. So you have to answer this, and this will come only with the time. So without knowing this, how will you judge which is better? And then how you can say that the person who have already been infected by the coronavirus should again be getting this virus as a vaccine? So these are the certain important scientific things which need to be considered and which need to be studied before going for all these kind of mass vaccination. So this already in reality a mass vaccination is going on in the name of whatever third trial, emergency usage or emergency situation. But this is happening. Millions of people have been vaccinated. Yeah. And now why I'm asking this question is because the current data that has come out from the Hyderabad, and last 2 weeks it out come similar data was published from the seroprevalence study of the Delhi. So more than 50% of the population in Delhi had this immunity. They have already acquired natural immunity because they have the antibody against the virus. So same here, today this study came out that 54% population of Hyderabad is already having immunity and they already have antibody. So this clearly means, and you see large population, they don't know, 75% of the population even don't know that they have this infection. So this means the asymptomatic cases were very high. This is as simple as that. People were asymptomatic, they were not able to, no symptoms were developed, so they didn't even realize that they have a coronavirus. And they were super spreaders, so they spread it very fast. And that's why people have such a large population of the people is already infected. Same, if we do this seroprevalence study in a pan-India level, that was done in last year May. If we do it now, we will be very close to this level for a pan-India level. So all India level will be very close to 50 to 54% population that they will already have a naturally occurring antibody. And now come to the controversial statement that you have put from the director of the Rakesh Mishra. So I don't know why these people are so confused. This sounds to me very similar to the statement made by the health secretary. And I wrote him an email asking them, explaining them, and then the article was published based on this my email in the Hindu Business Line that time we have said in August itself that India is moving towards undeclared herd immunity, and same is happening. What this outcome say, India is already, and he himself, the CCMB director himself said, so we are in a very good position now. So herd immunity is already setting in. So already 54% population is been infected. Then first question I will ask, sir, where is the emergency? Please tell me where is the emergency. So how your this justification will be bought by me or by anybody when you say that this vaccine has been approved for restricted use under emergency situation? Sir, please tell me where is the emergency in Hyderabad? 54% people are already. Our lakhs and lakhs of people are dying. Whole India is dying. Hospital is full of the COVID severe patients. People are dying. Then you say that this is a kind of emergency situation and we have to deal with it, and let's bring in this vaccine even without trial. Then somebody will happily accept. Even the doctor, when you write the prescription, even if you have a pain, he will write you SOS. When you really have a severe pain, then only please take this medicine. Otherwise, please don't take this medicine. So you are putting the entire country under an emergency situation, and then your data speaks contrary to that people have been already cured, already infected, and they have been already cured. They have already recovered. They already have antibody. Then why you need them to be vaccinated? Why don't you wait? Why don't you validate your products? Why don't you validate all your scientific products? Covaxin, Covishield, they are very good scientific products. Why don't you rush? If you do this in this pandemic, then these kind of vaccines, will be questionable, will remain questionable forever. For the next, this is not the first and the last biological problem where the vaccines has been made. There will be several emerging problems as well where you will need the vaccine. Then the next time people will have a severe doubt about this scientific development. People will question. Scientists are doing their best. but there is a scientific procedure that also has to be completed. Let them complete the procedure. Let them do all the clinical trials. Let them undergo all the peer review mechanism, and let them come out with a solid data, which need not to be controversial at certain later point of time. But this data could change at a certain later point of time, because this is just the interim data, and based on interim data, you are asking the entire country to fall in line. What if certain data will if there will be a drastic shift in the outcome of your data in a larger population, then what you will be having excuse at that time. So these all things, please take into mind these all things, and these all things should be considered before, not after you have already vaccinated such a large population. And what he has said very surprisingly to me, vaccine will help. Okay, vaccine will help to fight the body against the infection better, but it may not prevent us from getting infected, and we could again infect others, as you have already mentioned it. So what does this mean? So already 54% population are having immune, they are immune, and the remaining will be, even if they vaccinated, then they will not be prevented. So let them have the natural immunity. Why don't you think that's a better way? And if you think that your vaccine is not going to prevent them, and if you think that the person will again reinfect, then you are contradicting your own efficacy and everything of your vaccine. So where does your this logical statement hold with the outcome of the interim data? They both are contradictory to each other, and either you accept this or either you accept that. So you are in no man's land. It seems like that you are in a hurry. You are in a hurry of something, and then you make statement just out of some pressure. So there is some kind of pressure to rush for this vaccine, and you have made this. And when you come to the science, and then you speak something else about the efficacy of the vaccine, and the vaccine you already say it's not safe, and it could lead. And here you don't say how much. You should also say that what's the percentage, what's the possibility, what's the chances. Then it will make more sense to the people. So, in this light, the very valid question arises: where is the emergency, sir? Where is the emergency in these cities where already 55 to 60% population have already the antibodies? The herd immunity has already set in. So where is the emergency need for this kind of, without trial or without undergone complete trial, vaccine need to be launched and vaccinated on such a large scale? So government body, I think they are under some due pressure. For whatever reasons, I don't know, they are under some due pressure. But here, ultimately, people have to understand what's happening, and how the government and how the scientific bodies are themselves confused, and how they are contrary to their own statement and their own stand on the efficacy of the vaccine. And then when it comes to the certain city or wherever in Hyderabad, when it comes to, let's be very specific, when it comes to Hyderabad, and then it says that they have already heard immunity setting in, and then he is making this statement. So these all controversies, yeah, they have to clear up this mess. This is a complete scientific mess they have made it. So they have to come clean, and they have to take people into confidence what they have said rightly and what they have not said rightly, and above all, what is the truth of the outcome of this vaccine in terms of adversary and in terms of efficacy. So this, in a larger population, should be made public. Let the data made public, so that people can understand it and make their mind and make their decision in a scientific manner. Over to you.
Wonderful. I think this is very clear. The scientific ambiguity of ICMR and even now CCMB is very clearly seen. I don't know the virology, what is it doing? They are all co-producing this Covaxin. Now, the chairman of Bharat Biotech, he says it is confidential, cannot be revealed. What is that? Can a vaccine?
So, if this is so confidential, then how can you say people go for something confidential? Why should I? This is for public. So this is not like warfare planning that kept remain confidential. This is for public welfare. So what is confidentiality in public welfare?
What is
I don't
confidentially
understand.
in public welfare, Chairman Bharat Biotech? You have to answer the people. At the same time, a press
So
conference.
this means something. Sorry to interrupt you. Something foul is there. Why you have to keep something confidential? Even when we do our scientific research, when we go for a scientific meeting, whatever data we have, we put it openly. That see, this is the initial finding, and based on this initial finding, we are proceeding ahead. So whatever data you have, why don't you put it not in a public domain? What is why you are putting it confidential? I don't understand. If you put it confidential, then I have a serious doubt that there is something wrong.
There is something wrong. You have a serious doubt. A molecular immunologist, world's best molecular immunologist, questioning you, Bharat Biotech chairman, and all those concerned who have come onto the press conference and have revealed. And the other aspect, how safe a vaccine with just 36 or 40 or 130 participants efficacy rate test, and that too majority of them are placebo. Now you mean to say, first,
So this is simply means that 130 they have taken 130 cases of COVID-19, yeah, and in this then they will judge how many were placebo and how many were. So see, they have done this test in say like 27,000, yeah. So out of 27,000, suppose 200 people got infected with COVID-19, yeah, and then they will see how many of them were placebo controlled out of this 100 or 200, and how many were injected with the vaccine. So suppose if I study 30,000 people, and out of that 100 people got COVID-19, yeah, 29,900 people were protected from COVID, and only 100 people get COVID-19. So first thing, it itself means that the rate of spread of the disease has declined, yeah, and this is not the best place to do the trial. Trial is done always where the rate of infection is very high, so that more and more people can get infected, and then you can judge better the efficacy of your vaccine. So this is also something they need to understand it. I know, but this is not spoken so in public. But these are the scientific things that people should understand. So when you do the trial, where we should do the trial? Trial cannot be done at every place. So suppose if I go and do a trial in a country where there is no disease, then how will I come to know about the outcome of my vaccine? So trial is done where the rate of disease is really high. That is why you have heard in news in several countries, in several places, trial were not done, because at that place the rate of infection was not that high. And if the rate of infection is not that high, then how the people will get infected, and then how you will come to know that really people are protected or not? Because already there will be very low infection, already there will be very low rate of infection, then very less percentage of the people will get disease, and out of this very less percentage of the population, you will have a very less percentage of this COVID vaccinated people, and then you will say, okay, my efficacy is really very high. So this is also a manipulation. So this is a kind of manipulation. This is not real. This is manipulated data. So that's why trial has to be done at a place where the rate of infection is really very high. The possibility of getting infection is high, and then you see that how many percentage of the population that has been vaccinated, they are protected against the disease.
wonderful.
This is science.
This is Science Hope, ICMR, Virology Institute, CCMB, Bharat Biotech, Covishield, SII, and all the concerned officials, including Union Health Ministry, right from Prime Minister to the Chief Ministers. Everyone, you are responsible. You are to answer, because you said 35,000 crores in Atmanirbhar budget years been earmarked for vaccination. Then why the hell this charging 250 rupees? And that is one aspect.
This is something.
Yes, sir.
This is another aspect. This is another aspect, but also the trial, where the trial has been done. So people should know. People should understand what is the meaning of the trial. If I go do a trial in a desert where there is no chances of having any infection, and I come with, okay, I have done 10,000 people, and already there was no disease, and then I have infected 5,000, and 5,000 were placebo controlled. Only 5 people got infected. Then what is this? This is completely bullshit. Yeah. So trial also, you have to define a place trial where the trial has been done, And what was the rate of infection? The rate of infection should be really high or equally high as it was during the peak of the pandemic. If that rate of infection exists in that place, then you can conduct a trial in that area so that their chances of getting infection is high, and then you can make conclusion that all the people that have been vaccinated, they are really protected because chances of infection were high, but this vaccine has generated such an antibody that they have been protected against the disease in comparison to the placebo control.
Wonderfully
Then
said.
only we can conclude that the rate efficacy is really high and the efficacy is true. Suppose where they have done this efficacy study, the third trial study, suppose they have done in a hospital where the rate of infection is not as high, yeah, in comparison to the another place in India where the rate of infection is high, then what will be the outcome? If I will get the data, the very first, what is peer review? This is the peer review. This is the peer review question. So where you have done the trial, first show me, and then I will ask the question. Okay, if you want to do a peer review trial for India, if you want to do test the efficacy for pan India, then you have to select all those places in India which can reflect the rate of infection on a pan India basis. Then you have to select all those places where the rate of infection were very high and the rate of infection were moderate. Then only based on this, then I will be happy. Okay, where the rate of infection is very high, show me the data, and you will. And I am very much sure where the rate of infection will be very high, the data will be completely different from the place where the rate of infection is low. And then you have to make a bigger conclusion. What is the average?
Now I ask you
You
straight
understand
here.
my
Yeah,
point?
I understood.
Yeah,
Understood. The
Yeah,
third stage
so
of clinical
this
trial
is-
should be not from the less virulent areas, high infection areas, and only then the
Yeah.
efficacy of the vaccine will come out and it can be monitored. Then you claim that this is
True.
81%
That will
efficacy.
reflect that. Yeah, that will reflect the true efficacy of the vaccine. Yeah,
When there
that
is
will
no
reflect the
and
true efficacy of the vaccine.
vaccine comes from Hyderabad. Now Hyderabad is almost gaining herd immunity as per CCMB. Now where you have done this trial,
Yeah.
third stage of trials. Now I ask you one pertinent question. A Honorable Prime Minister of India, as a concerned citizen, he has taken a dose, whether it is placebo or whatever it is, I don't want to claim that. But 2 days after our Honorable Prime Minister is inoculated, this statement is made by Bharat Biotech today. How do you look at the scenario? And what about the common man?
Sorry, sometimes it's getting disturbed.
I said Honorable Prime Minister of India was inoculated 2 days ago. Now today, Bharat Biotech comes out, not ICMR nor Virology Institute, both are scientific bodies are silent, except CCMB which comes out with another alternate contradictory herd immunity 54% status. How do you look at this Bharat Biotech coming out
See,
and saying that
timing,
is also
whatever-
interim data? Again, let me make interim data, no peer review. That too after Honorable Prime Minister of India was inoculated 2 days ago.
Yeah, so this is something the timing, I mean, why they have chosen this timing, and this makes no sense. Yeah, interim data, confidential data, and then you are asking the people to follow it, then this is completely not acceptable. Yeah, the data which drive this vaccination should be made immediately public. What kind of data you have? Why it's confidential? If you have, even doesn't matter who has taken, Prime Minister, President, all big shot politicians, common man, whoever has taken. Yeah, now millions of people have been vaccinated. So why don't you come out with this? This is really a genuine valid question. So there is something going on which is not favorable. That's why you are hiding something, and that's why you are not put it in public domain. And these questions will be definitely asked, which I have raised it. So where you have done this control, where you have done this trial, you have done in AIIMS. Yeah, there are several hospitals. Yeah, they have been doing all this. Yeah, for Covishield, for Covaxin, AIIMS is also involved. So AIIMS will be also doing. So at the time of this trial, what was the rate of infection? If already, you see, now they are saying they will do the trial in February. So in February, March, now it's already the herd immunity has set in Delhi. Herd immunity has already set in Delhi. The rate of infection is already very low. Then how will you judge that the outcome of this will be the real reflection of the efficacy?
And not only
Okay,
that,
very
not
good.
only that, not only
That's
that.
why I think there are many certain issues like this. That's why they have kept it confidential, and they have just made a blind statement that it is safe. Yeah. See, our Prime Minister has taken, and everything is well with him, so it's safe.
No, that's
That's
what I'm
all.
trying to tell you. The senior executive now, at least, don't you think PM or Prime Minister's office, Union Ministry of Health, ICMR, including Virology Institute of India, they should take cognizance of this public statement by Bharat Biotech. 2 days after the Honorable Prime Minister takes a shot, they come out with the data. There is no peer review, which you have reflected on the screen.
No
Without
data,
peer
just
review,
statement.
there is
no
no data.
Sorry,
Yeah.
just statement.
It's a statement made by Bharat Biotech. No peer review.
That's the statement.
No
Yeah.
peer review. And to contradict this, 50% Hyderabad under GHMC limits is into herd immunity, as claimed by CCMB director himself, and from where Bharat Biotech happens. When such is the case, when the infection is very weak and very low, allow another season of summer or rainy season. Don't you think people would have got natural immunity?
Definitely. I mean, already the herd immunity is setting in India. I mean, way back in August itself, many places in India, they were having 50 to 60%. Many slums in India were having a very high percentage of immunity. So already herd immunity was setting in since August last year. And we have said at that time, in the next 6 to 8 months, the situation will be very much better. And natural herd immunity will set in India. It's already happening now. See, it's already happening. So if you have to really do all this clinical trial, then go to a place where the rate of infection is really too high to let you know the exact outcome of the vaccine. It could be that many people see already the infection is very low. Then the chances of getting infection is very low. Then even if you have vaccine, then it makes no sense, because already the chances of getting infected is so low that you will not get the disease itself. So then the efficacy of vaccine is manipulated, then it's already like high. You got my
So
point.
less
It's already
virulence, less infection, less virulence of coronavirus at this point of time, and you are claiming your vaccine to be very efficacious. Wow,
high. Yeah.
wonderful. And then last one, they are asking us to register. They are asking us to pay 250 rupees, and when such is the case, when there is no data available on the ICMR, which is partnering Covaxin, Bharat Biotech, what about liability and compensation angle? How should people look at it? How will the legal system would look at it? Because there is no data, they are making you intelligently to register on your own, and again they are making you to pay 250 rupees on your own, and there is no liability and compensation aspect because there is no data at all. How do you look at this as a science man?
So they are taking your consent. Simply, they are taking your consent that this is a clinical trial, ongoing clinical trial. So give your consent for this, and whatever will happen to you, we are not liable for it. It's as simple as that. Because have you ever registered for any other vaccine before? I don't remember that I have registered for any other. Do we register child for polio vaccine?
Yeah, that's mandatory. That's a meaningful question. Yes.
Yeah.
Do
don't
we
register
do
for
we
any other
register
vaccine.
do we
So why you are-
register
so
our
that's-
do we register our family for a polio vaccine, or for that matter for any vaccine of our children vaccination? We go on time and get it done. But why did you register it?
Yeah.
Why do you register it now? Yes,
So,
Mr.
so they have clearly said this is an ongoing clinical trial. So they are getting your consent, and whatever will happen in clinical trial, they will not be held liable. And the cost, there is a cost in a trial. So the cost should be borne by the company before launching it, because now they are also getting this cost extracted from the public. So government say it's free, okay, but it's not free. Government, it's from the taxpayer money, yeah. So government has embarked 35,000 crores, so it's a taxpayer money. So they are spending the taxpayer money to buy this vaccine and to give you. So it's indirectly you have already paid your tax and now you are getting it. Yeah, so it's not free. Nothing is free. Who gives whatever? There is no concept of free in this world. Nothing comes for free. Yeah, to make the people understand. Yeah, and secondly, all the government hospital, they have said, okay, you go there and you will not be charged for it. But the private hospitals, because they will buy it privately, so they will charge you. So it's the same. It's an extended clinical trial. It has been extended from government hospital to private hospitals, and now you will be asked to pay for it. So it's as simple as that.
As simple as that. So let us
So-
conclude.
So double. So you have paid 2 times. See, for the development of the vaccine, government has spent the money. Yeah, and government money means public money. It's your money on which the vaccine were researched and the vaccine were produced. Yeah, they all got the government aid and the government money. Lot of government money was put behind it. Yeah, and now so you have paid at that time also, and after the outcome, that point after the production, it should not be people should not be asked to pay because you have already paid for the development of the vaccine. So production should cost will be even lower than this. Yeah, so it should not be made so high profitable for the company, but it's not happening. So you are paying for the production and you are paying for the product as well. So development, research and development, you paid the money because government paid for the money for the research and development of this vaccine. So indirectly, we paid it. The government of the people of the India paid it. Yeah, and then again for the product you are paying. So you are paying for everything.
So-
You have already paid for everything. So don't be in a dilemma that it's a free. Nothing is free. Yeah, and this 250 is even extra that you are paying.
So to get you into that legal tangle, and he says this 250 rupees in worldwide, when you consider they are converting it into their currency, it said it is the cheapest we are supplying. How do you look at this?
I mean, see, the cost of development of a vaccine in US is not as cost of development of vaccine in India. So why you compare that cost with dollar to Indian rupees? Yeah, so it's like the same, the Indian student that come to Germany in the beginning, they compare the price of bread from India, the price of bread to Germany. And they say, oh my God, it's 100 rupees here and it's 50 rupees in India. So it's like the same, the cost of production, everything depends on the cost of production. Yeah, so cost of production in US is very high. Do you think the salary of the scientists is same in US and same in India? So if you say it's very cheap, then give them the same salary. What the Indian scientists are drawing, it should be equivalent to the US. And then you say it's cheaper, then I will agree. Here you are paying less, you are getting produced in a lesser price, and then you are saying it's cheaper than the US. So how you are comparing apple with a pear? Compare two varieties of apple, then I can compare it. Yeah, you are comparing apple with orange. They're completely two different things. Yeah? So this is something I wash. Yeah.
One concluding as a
I told you.
scienceman, as a molecular immunologist. One concluding statement.
So my conclusion is very very simple. Yes. First, where is the emergency situation in India that allow you for the restricted use of this vaccine? Yeah. And if you come for the efficacy, then all the scientific questions that I have raised, where you have done this, what is the rate of infection, where this trial has been done. If the rate of infection is already very low, then the efficacy that you have reflected is not true, because naturally the people will not having infection, and then your vaccine will be already very safe. Yeah. So people should understand. My simple conclusion will be that people should understand the science, some simple science behind all these things, which is not revealed by any company. The director, it should be the duty of the director to come in public and tell how this vaccination trials are done and what is this efficacy and what situation, what conditions it should be done. But they don't reveal it. They just come out with some statement which they say it's confidential. So there in science, if there is something confidential which is not for public, then which is not for a common man, then it's confidential. But this is a product which is for a common man, then how it can be confidential? It's not I said it's not your warfare strategy that could be confidential. That could be kept confidential. But this is a product which is for the common man, for the public health of the country, for the public health of the world at large. Then it cannot be confidential. So people wake up and ask all the scientific questions, what you should be, why you are getting this vaccine and for what purpose, what is the reason and why and how efficacy is been defined and under what conditions, and is this reflect the true nature of the efficacy, or in different situations the data will change abruptly. So people should understand all these things. Yeah. This very in science is sometimes very easy to manipulate. You change the conditions, the outcome will change.
Yep.
So if you go for if you go to a place where the rate of infection will be very high, the efficacy will be changing. The efficacy will change automatically. So for peer reviews, if the data will come, I will ask how you have compared this data with this. Yeah, you only selected a place where the rate of infection were already very low. Then I will not accept it. Then this is not the true outcome of your efficacy data.
Wonderful.
Then you have to go and do this trial. Then you have to go and this trial in a place where really the rate of this was the case. That's why many vaccines in the beginning they were not given approval for a clinical trial in many countries, because those countries were not having very high rate of infection, and the scientists objected this, and this was well taken by the government, and they didn't give approval for the trial.
Wonderful. At least hope the Prime Minister of India, PMO's office, Union Health Ministry, including ICMR, the Indian Virology Institutes, along with the state governments and their Director of Health, they all understand with this show what the scientific logic behind this vaccine drive. Is it third stage of trial?
So
35,000 crores of public money has been spent on research and development. Example, ICMR is partnering Bharat Biotech. That is public money. So for production, our taxes, 35,000 crores, no party or no personality is going to churn it out from their pocket. It is public money, the tax paid from public pocket. 35,000 crores for developing, for production, and again for the product, 250 rupees. Not only that, they are asking you to register and pay money. In doing so, as he rightly questioned, is it for third stage of trial? Innocent Indians are being made scapegoats? And all this paying money and registering, so that at one stroke the company and the scientific bodies supporting them, including the governments, will escape the compensation and the legality aspects. Is it so? The liability and compensation legality aspects the company is overcoming, and how is that governments are helping them? Scientific bodies are very silent. Why? This is $1 million question. The screen is in front of you, viewers. Herd immunity is already setting in, approved by CCMB, and again Rakesh Mishra, the director, contradicts his own statement. So much of ambiguity. Is it because there is no peer review, there is no third stage viable third trial clinical data which can be uploaded so that it leads to immunogenicity aspects and it can be certified as a vaccine? When it is certified as a vaccine, the onus will be truly on the companies who are manufacturing it for any compensation or the liability angles, and that will be predetermined, very clearly stated if it is a complete product. But being confidential, and that too for public and public health, how do they go? Why confidential? When it is a question of public health, you are goading them to pay 250 rupees, register, and you are vaccinating them. You say after 28 days, another dose. That means already 54% herd immunity has set in. Then after 28 days, it may be more. And I am directly questioning the state governments and the union government of Kerala and all likewise Telangana and all other governments. If that is the case, can you postpone or cancel the elections? Elections have been held in every state. Every other conferences, they are going on. Malls are open. Why this again fear psychosis setting in? Is it only to accommodate the vaccine candidates or companies at the cost of public health? And in spite of corona, public were made to pay taxes, whether it is diesel, petrol or gas or all other essential commodities, including the treatment of corona, which was costlier and lakhs. And in doing so, they have contributed to the exchequer in spite of losing opportunities to make money or to earn. Governments should come to the rescue of a common citizen because India is a republic. Every citizen has got specific rights. They combine to form democracy. And do not forget rulers and the companies, whoever it is, that we are a constitution. The people of India are a constitutional authority themselves. We have given constitution to ourselves, right from union to state government, or for that matter, any other administration is in larger public interest, and it works by the taxes paid by this constitutional authority, we, the people of India. When such is the case, everything, and that too when it concerns public health, should be transparent and accountable. We hope this company comes out clean, and all the scientific bodies have to answer, including the union and state governments. Thank you, Dr. Satish Ranjan. See you with another new issue. So again, as
Yeah, thank you very much.
rest
Yeah.
of
Thank you
Europe
very much.
and US, I say have a great day and great weekend. For India, Sukha Nidra Shubha Ratri. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good night.
Yeah.
Bye.